Roundabout crossings by a blind pedestrian, without and with tactile direction indicators, TDI. A pedestrian with vision disability traveling with a white cane attempts to find the crosswalk at a roundabout intersection with an orientation and mobility specialist following. Her parallel traffic is on her left as she heads toward the intersection. Public rights-of-way accessibility guidelines. Separation from circular way equals yes, easy crosswalk location equals no. The pedestrian veers toward the parallel street. She locates the curb and gets turned around due to a lamppost. The orientation and mobility specialist stops the pedestrian from stepping off the curb into the street. The pedestrian is informed to turn back to the sidewalk. The pedestrian is disoriented. So the orientation and mobility specialist provides correct directional information. Once the pedestrian regains correct heading and continues, she unfortunately passes by the intended crosswalk. Public rights-of-way accessibility guidelines. Circulation path for crosswalk location. Need detectable vertical edge along street side from crosswalk to crosswalk. The pedestrian continues along by trailing the vertical landscape edge until she detects the domes for the perpendicular street. She turns around and attempts to locate the crosswalk heading in the direction she came from by trailing the curb. Traffic is now on her right. The orientation and mobility specialist intervened by stopping and asking if she had detected the domes. The pedestrian indicated she had and thought this corner was a corner with domes going all around. The orientation and mobility specialist provided directional information and the pedestrian relocated the sidewalk to head back in the direction for the intended crosswalk. The pedestrian trails along a vertical landscaping edge to get back to the intended crosswalk. Once she locates the crosswalk, the domes are detected and she turned to face the street to be crossed. When the pedestrian feels she is lined up, she raises her hand to inform the orientation and mobility specialist. Public rights-of-way accessibility guidelines. Multi-lane crossing needs. Traffic signal PED head and APS, PHB with PED head and APS, RRFB with locator tone and speech message, or raised crosswalk. The pedestrian attempts to yield vehicles with cane extended forward and her left hand up. 3 vehicles do not yield and continue in front of her. Gaps in traffic? No yielding from 3 vehicles, despite cane and hand up. The pedestrian initiates the multi-lane crossing by moving her cane and raising left hand up. Her alignment appears straight, but as she crosses, she veers to her left as she makes it to the splitter island. Turn in direction on island leads to change in alignment from both tactual and audible cues. The pedestrian navigates the splitter island, which required a turn to the right, following vertical landscaping edge, and then a turn to the left to the next set of domes. Once at the second set of domes, the pedestrian continued to walk past them and the orientation and mobility specialist had to stop her from stepping into the street and an oncoming vehicle exiting the roundabout. Once aligned, she raised her hand to indicate she was ready to cross. The pedestrian started the crossing on the left side of the crosswalk and completed the crossing more to the right. Same crossing, but with TDI, tactile direction indicator, sidewalk alert bars. The pedestrian with cane walks along the sidewalk with orientation and mobility specialist following. She is approaching the crosswalk location, which has raised tactile sidewalk alert bars running across the sidewalk. First, the pedestrian detects the bars with her cane, and then she steps onto the bars and detects with her feet. She then turns toward the street, uses both her cane and feet to feel the bars as she walks up to the domes. The pedestrian moves her feet to confirm the bars run perpendicular under both of her feet. Once she is aligned and raises her hand, the cameraman moves in behind her to capture her alignment.
Are you still filming?
The pedestrian is told to go when ready. She raised her hand with cane extended. Vehicles yielded and she crossed to the splitter island. The crossing was executed with little to no veer. Navigating island with TDI tactile direction indicator alignment bars. On the splitter island, the pedestrian walks off the first set of domes, locates the vertical landscape edge and walks up to the 2-foot by 2-foot square of tactile alignment bars. She detects the bars first with her cane and then with her feet. She moves her feet back and forth until she feels the bars running perpendicular under her feet. The pedestrian raises her hand once she feels she is aligned. The pedestrian puts her hand up to yield traffic coming from the right exiting the roundabout. She extends her cane and completes a very straight crossing. Tactile direction indicator, TDI, sidewalk alert bars from opposite direction. The pedestrian with cane walks along the sidewalk with orientation and mobility specialist following. She is approaching the crosswalk location, which has raised tactile sidewalk alert bars running across the sidewalk. First, the pedestrian detects the bars with her cane and then she steps onto the bars and detects with her feet. She then turns toward the street, uses both her cane and feet to feel the bars as she walks up to the domes. The pedestrian moves her feet to confirm the bars run perpendicular under both of her feet. Once she is aligned and raises her hand, the cameraman moves in behind her to capture her alignment. The pedestrian is told to go when ready. She raised her hand with cane extended. Vehicles yielded and she crossed to the splitter island. The crossing was executed with little to no veer. Wanted one more crossing because it's so much easier. The pedestrian is standing aligned at the crosswalk with the raised bars running perpendicular under her feet. She raises her hand and extends the cane to yield vehicles. She executes a straight crossing with little to no veer. This pedestrian's usable vision.
Okay, well I have basically, they call it light perception, which means that I basically just see lights. I can sometimes see movement if there's a lot of contrast and it's in a brightly lit situation. So sometimes, like on a very sunny day, if I really look at it, I might be able to see the crosswalk lines, but I don't rely on that because there's not a sunny day every day. So have to rely on traffic sounds and my memory of going places I know. And if I'm in an unfamiliar place, just kind of going by sounds.
Crossing without TDI tactile direction indicator sidewalk alert bars.
The first time, it was a little stressful.
So crossing without
Without the bars, yeah. I was pretty sure that I was lined up straight, but there really wasn't a lot to tell. Either traffic noises or curb line. So I was kind of hoping when I stepped out into the street that I had good alignment. And that the cars would pause, was yield for me. That was a little bit of a question in my mind when I stepped into the road, because two of them, I remember I held up my hand and two cars passed and paid no attention. So I was a little nervous when I stepped into the road for two reasons. And
Yep.
yeah, it was just a little scary.
Crossing with TDI, tactile direction indicator sidewalk alert bars.
Started from the same point and did not have to go all the way down the sidewalk because I was walking and there was the tactile lines across the sidewalk to tell me that there was a crosswalk there. So I turned when I felt them and used the raised bars to get my alignment straight so that I was heading straight across the street, which was nice. Put my hand up to yield traffic and stepped out into the street and crossed. And I remember that the island in the middle, that was a lot easier to understand what I was supposed to do where, and to have those bars kind of pointing the way after I got around that, whatever it is, in the middle of that island to, to find my alignment again, because once you turn and then turn again, well, there goes your alignment. So
Good.
yeah, that was good. And then I just remember lining up again on the island and stepping across that one lane of traffic.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Accessible design for the blind. Jennifer Graham, COMS Certified Orientation and Mobility Specialist Research Associate.